Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up. I made this cute little card with products from Stampin' Up. I sell these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I have the free detailed directions for this project on my website, and you'll be able to click the links for the products that you would like to be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up. You'll see where to find all of that at the end of this video, so don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. It is Sale-a-Bration this month, August and September. During Sale-a-Bration, if you spend a certain amount of money, you can select something free from this catalog. So we have this fancy bedazzling specialty paper. We have designer series paper that goes with things that you'll find in the mini catalog. Stamp sets, more designer series paper, more designer series paper. This is kind of fun because you can either get a stamp set or a die or both to coordinate. Each of those was free with a $50 order. Dies that go with things in the annual catalog. Today's project uses delicate dahlias, which you can get for free with a $100 order. And so I have put together a list of products that you might want to select. The total is exactly $101, and it gets you everything you need to make this project. This beautiful stamp set, and I am suggesting that you get the Regal's cardstock. You will get 2 sheets of each of these colors. Each sheet is not this size, it's 8.5 by 11, and these colors all pretty much coordinate together. We're going to use shaded spruce for this project. I'm using the classic Stampin' Spots, and so that's one of the reasons why I chose shaded spruce and flirty flamingo. But you might decide to use different colors. I'm using the note cards. These come with envelopes and already cut and scored, so you don't have to worry about that. We're actually using some layers, and you might want to sacrifice a card for this white layer. I have cut this white layer to 2.5 by 4. I'm suggesting that you use the Stamparatus. You might be thrown off by the price of this tool, but it is really a wonderful tool, and I think it's pretty comparable to buying all Stampin' blocks. You do need something to stamp with. For my simple stamping projects, I usually find stamps that will work on this D block. You really will need the E block or the Stamparatus. I am cutting up this paper with our paper trimmer, and I did not include the paper trimmer in the price of in that $100 list. I do recommend it, but maybe you already have a paper trimmer. I certainly started my crafting with an inexpensive blade knife and a ruler, but the trimmer makes it easy to measure and cut straight lines, and so I'm going to use that. On my directions, I am recommending this cutting plan that will give you one of the layers that I'm going to use, and I think it's a very helpful cutting plan. So you can cut your paper in half at 5.5 inches. And this tool does score it. Scoring is where you can have just a fold line started at 4.25. And this will give you a card base that will fit in our medium envelopes. And then the other half you can cut to 4 inches. by 5 1/4. And this card base is a perfect size to fit in our medium envelopes. And let me swap this out for a yellow one for a second. This layer works perfectly to layer on these medium size cards. And this is the size that we're going to be using today. That is 4 1/4. And this is 5 1/2, and we're going to cut this to 2 3/4. So that gives you all these pieces, so nothing wasted. But this is the piece that we're going to use for today's project. So here's the Stamparatus, and it comes with 2 plates, and it comes with this foam mat that you're going to use on photopolymer stamps, and this is a photopolymer stamp. And I have added a piece of our small grid paper, but you could certainly use just a piece of regular copy paper. And we're going to be placing this here. And we're going to put this stamp. This set has some very almost solid but detailed stamps, and then some lined outlines. And so we're going to just put this flower here, overlapping a little bit, and pick it up with the Stamparatus. And because I'm using those lines, if you don't have the grid paper, you can just draw lines on where this is going. And pulling this over, I think you'll find it easiest if you put something underneath the stamp. And then we're going to ink. There are people that swirl and there are people that pat, and I kind of have a combination of the two styles. And I'm going to stamp. So pretty. Then I'm going to remove this, and I will be cleaning that in a little bit. This one, I don't even know if there is a way to match this design exactly, but I'm finding that it doesn't really need to. So I'm just placing that. The photopolymer stamps, you can see right through where they're going, and that's helpful. I should show you how detailed that looks. Isn't that beautiful? You could just leave it like that if you'd like. But I'm going to add a little extra line drawing. So I'm going to use the outline stamp. Ink that all up. And stamp right over that. Again, I did not try to match that exactly, and I think it looks lovely. And with this paper in the same place, I'm going to stamp the scratch paper. Just so I know where that will be. And then I'm going to stamp my leaf. And I want my leaf to kind of tuck between some petals. And I want to keep track of where my corner is. I also want to have my greeting up in this corner. So I'll pick those up. And I'll put my cardstock back in that same place. Then I'll ink up the leaves and the greeting in shaded spruce. Oh, I'm glad I checked that. Let me actually mark my corner here. Okay, let me try again. I'm going to ink up my greeting and my leaf. And stamp. Set those aside. And that's a beautiful leaf as it is. I'm tempted to leave it like that. But to match my flower, I'm putting on this outline stamp. So you have some options. Then I'm going to use the Stamp and Seal, and this is on my list of supplies. And to use this, you roll it along, and it leaves behind it a trail of adhesive. And then I didn't point these out. These are two different colors, but they're also different because I have popped this layer up there with dimensionals, and it really does add a lot to the card, I think. These are also on the supply list. You get 300 for, I think, $4, so that's really inexpensive. So this is both an adhesive and also a way of making your cards extra fancy. So this gets centered on the front. And that's all there is. You can make this card. Here is the web address for this project, where you'll find the free detailed directions and links for the products I used. Just click the links and you'll be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up! Also on my website, you can click Home near the top of the page to find lots of resources. Under Shop, you can find the products I offer to make crafting more convenient, how to get free products with my frequent shopper rewards, and a link to my online store at Stampin' Up! Click Inspiration to scroll all my projects back to 2011, most with detailed directions and videos. Though the products in those older projects have been retired, you may find techniques, layouts, and color combinations to inspire you today. If you're new to stamping, you might want to take a look at the basics. You'll find out how to cut card bases and layers, and what's special about Stampin' Up!, and some of my favorite tools. Under Organization, you'll find tons of free resources such as catalog tabs, labels and case inserts, color tools, and much more. You can take a tour of my craft wall. More organization means more time for crafting. Come stamp with me here in Ventura County, California, or get the best deal of all and join my team of crafters. The team is called SIP Together, and it stands for Stamps, Ink, and Paper Together. The team is made of crafters who want to save money on the products they buy, share with a few friends, or grow a business like mine. Be sure to subscribe to my website and on YouTube. Talk to you soon. Bye.